you serious? Are you serious? What you're looking at right there, those two men right there, they're Iranians. The man on the left, his name is Pura Murdad. Pura Muradad. That's how you pronounce it. Pura Muradad. And the man on the right, his name is Delaver Mohammad Reza. That's Delaver Mohammad Reza. Now these two men are Iranians. They're Iranians. And they were on the flight, the missing Malaysia flight MH370 that just evaporated, just vanished without a trace, 35,000 feet in the air off the radar screens. The black box is not beeping. There's no sensors or indicators anywhere to give anybody a clue where this plane is with 239 passengers. Now, as you know, I've been saying it's still a possibility this plane was hijacked, because where's the debris? Nobody can find debris. Nobody can find a plane. There are 12 different nations scouring the area, and it's insane. And then we find out there were 20 people on the plane that work for an RFID microchip, sophisticated intellectual property engineers, 20 engineers that work for a company called Freescales Limited out of Austin, Texas, who is a military contractor for the United States military with highly sophisticated RFID microchip technology for defense, for and capabilities. Folks, we're talking nanotechnology, we're talking even bio-nanotechnology. These guys were 20 engineers. Now, something happened to the plane. There's no question. Where is the plane? What about the people? What is the motivation? Did it evaporate out of the air? That is possible. The only countries that really have that capability is the United States, China, and Russia. But what's the motivation? Well, Iran has now blamed the United States. I have an article right here. It says, Iran's lawmakers are blaming the United States for kidnapping the plane, with the fate and location of this missing Malaysia airline jet still unexplained, and the police are still investigating it. The possibilities of hijacking, sabotage, and possible psychological or personal problems among the crew and passengers, while other agencies in Malaysia continue to investigate the non-criminal explanations like where it crashed at and did it crash. Now, yesterday afternoon in Iran, an Iranian lawmaker accused the United States of America of having kidnapped Malaysian flight MH370, saying it was an attempt to sabotage the relationship between Iran and China and Southeast Asia. In other words, because China and Iran have been building a relationship along with Malaysia, along with North Korea. These countries have been collaborating together against the West. And so what Iran is saying is it's the Americans that hijacked this plane. It's the Americans who took this plane. Now the parliament, there was his name is Hashim Hassini. That's his actual name. Hashim Hassini, who is a spokesman for the Foreign Policy Committee, responded to the news on Tuesday afternoon that these two Iranian nationals have been traveling on the missing flight. They were the two men right there you're looking at that used the stolen passports. This accusation was a plot, says Mr. Hassini, according to the Iranian news agencies. He says, quote, documents published by the Western media about two Iranians getting on this plane without passports is psychological warfare. It's the Americans who recruit some people for such kinds of operations so they can throw the blame on other countries, especially Muslim countries, he said. Now, thousands of Iranians, if not more, wait in Asian countries with friendly visas, rules to make journeys to the West and to Australia, to Thailand, to Malaysia, to Indonesia in particular, are popular springboards for middle-class Iranians who enter on tourist visas and are then helped by local travel agents and human smugglers to travel to Western countries. So Interpol has confirmed that these two passports were stolen. The one passport belonged to an Austrian man and the other one to an Italian. And so these two men, both from Iran, used those stolen passports to get on this flight that is now missing. The question is, who did the plane crash? Well, where's the debris? Why isn't any debris anywhere? Did the plane disintegrate in the air? Well, who's motivated to blow up a plane with 239 people on it to the point it disintegrates and it's gone from completely out of history? What would be the motivation? To create an act of war? It doesn't seem likely. The other option is that the plane was hijacked and that it has been put in an underground hangar, and those 20 employees of Free Scales Limited with the intellectual property and maybe cargo on the plane that of very sensitive nature, maybe that happened and those 20 are being interrogated. Now, I brought this scenario up to Mike from around the world, who actually was a caller that called in on my radio show, who is works for the federal government, high level of defense. He said it is absolutely possible to hijack a plane and to shut down all tracking devices, including GPS, including black box indicators and sensors and tracking mechanisms, to where you could, and even to make the plane not appear on radar. He says that capability is actually in the hands of the United States of America and China. And he said, and probably Russia, but he knows for sure America and China. So basically what I'm saying here, folks, we're not getting a story. I don't even know if the media is getting the truth. I don't think they are either, because somebody would certainly leak it. I think whoever or whatever happened, whether it's a plane crash, a terrorist explosion, a missile by some government, or a hijacking by some government, not some radical Islamic group. They do not have that capability. Somebody took this plane, or blew this plane up, or it crashed. But if it crashed, we would know it. The black box would tell us where. We would find debris. Folks, something weird is going on. We're going to continue to look. The Bible said there's going to be spiritual wickedness in high places. The Bible also says in the last days we're going to see lying, signs, and wonders. The key word here, lying. They will lie, and signs and wonders. And those are done by mankind using demonic forces of Satan. So we're going to continue to pray for the 239 people on board, and we're trying our best to find out what is the truth. But I'm starting to sense the media is starting to distance themselves. I noticed this morning that the MSNBC was all over this story, and this morning for the first 55 minutes, it was never mentioned, not even on the ticker. It's like the media is trying to distance themselves now. They may have been told that they must do that and just barely speak about it. They may have been told to do that by the federal government. I don't know. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. Let me just say this. If you're not saved, it is time to give your life to Jesus Christ. We are living in the last days. Some of the people that are calling their loved ones, the cell phones are ringing, yet no one answers their phones. Folks, if the thing was blew up, how come those phones ring? There's other reports that the plane went off flight plan and actually may have went to the other side of Malaysia instead of headed to China. There are all kinds of reports that keep making you feel like something is not right. Folks, something biblical is going on here with the signs of the second coming of Christ. But right now, Iran is blaming the United States of America for hijacking this plane. Stay tuned.